Sorry, Todd.
Sorry.
Last week on October 31st, I conducted a survey asking if you knew what extraterrestrials are. 36.4% of the class said no. I found that interesting, but then again, I thought some of you might not know what the word extraterrestrial means. So, the definition is of or from outside the Earth, aka aliens. Even we may not have personally seen extraterrestrials, they are real, but sometimes it's not all as you see. I personally believe in the research done, but when I asked the class if they believe in the information provided by the research, 72.7% of the class said they somewhat believed in it. Today, I'm going to tell you about the first sighting in the U.S., the Disclosure Project, government cover-ups experiments, and why the government doesn't want us to know. When was the first sighting? The first sighting happened January 18, 1644, by James Everell and 2 other men. They were boating down the Charles River when they said, randomly, on the boat, they just looked up in the sky, saw this flying saucer about 3 meters wide, and it was spinning at enormous speeds that they could not understand, that it just looked like a solid circle, and it was full of these different colored lights. There was only a few other sightings after that, which led to the Disclosure Project. The Disclosure Project is created by Dr. Stephen Greer in 1993, with 12 military, government, intelligence, and corporate witnesses. In 2001, the National Press Club Press Club Disclosure event, which is in this picture. It was held by 20 members. Right in the middle, that is going to be Stephen Greer. And then they presented testimony regarding the existence of extraterrestrial forms visiting the planet and the engineering of the energy and systems of the crafts that the government has been creating. Many people believe that the government is hiding something, which in fact they are. In January 23, 2009, Obama was briefed. In that briefing, it discovered that there was a secret operation which cost $100 billion to create weapons to track and recreate these saucers. Within that briefing, it mentioned ARVs, which are alien reproduction vehicles, advanced anti-gravity aircraft that have been operating since the early 1950s, which you see here. And then PLFs, which are programmed life forms, well-crafted, alien-appearing creatures that are completely man-made. Director Stephen M. Greer, MD, in 2009 wrote the special presidential briefing for President Barack Obama, viewed on the disclosure.com, saying, victims such preliminary human-controlled abductions generally believe that they have been abducted by aliens and often have implants to prove it. These implants are also man-made and have info from the laboratory and the corporations making these. So basically the government has been faking, like, abducting people and doing experiments on them to see what they would personally believe. And I thought that was interesting, even though it was still a few years back, but that's the only, like, proven evidence that we've ever gotten from the government on these types of ordeals. With the government doing secret experiments, no wonder they don't want to tell us anything. See, the government fears that if we, like, know anything about extraterrestrials, that we're going to go into, like, a wide panic, and that we're all just going to freak out and, like, go into different wars and all this other stuff. But the National Geographic science reporter Nadia Drake quotes Michael Viren in the article, "How Would You React to Finding Aliens?" found on the National Geographic website. In a way, the government is a secret society, knowing and doing things civilians don't know about nor have heard of. And in the way that the government is their own secret society, because they're keeping information from us and not telling us, like, important facts that we should be able to know if things are happening around us. In conclusion, even though we may not have firsthand seen extraterrestrials, they are real, but sometimes it's not all as it seems. Today I covered the first U.S. sighting, the Disclosure Project, government cover-ups experiments, and why the government doesn't want us to know. at the end of the day, we don't truly know what is really like out there in the world because we don't, as far as we know, we don't have the stuff to prove it. But from what I have seen from the research, we possibly do have the energy to go beyond our world, but the government is keeping it from us, so.